Yeah, first, thank you everybody for coming. Really appreciate you. First, number one thing is camp is going phenomenal. We're in a really, really good place. Getting callous, as we like to say around here, having a physical camp, but also having fun too. Competition is at an all-time high. Guys are not satisfied where they're going to be, and we're going to continue to do that. You know, I know there's some questions regarding the whole NCAA investigation and thing, and really the statement is, you know, we're cooperating with the NCAA fully, have in the past, will in the future, and we'll continue to do that. So really, right now, it's an ongoing case, and we need to preserve the confidentiality of the proceedings. So, you know, for that, you know, we're just gonna hope you guys understand that. I know there's questions about all that stuff coming up. So, anything else to address, I'll address.
We'll start, if you have a question, raise your hand. We'll start with Larry on the left.
Can you say anything about what you want to say about the text messages?
I'll just say this: is that I look forward to them being released, and that's it.
Isaiah?
Every year, it just seems like guys take a big step forward from one to the next. Is there anyone that has surprised you or impressed you here at the beginning of camp?
I mean, it's the list is huge. There's a guy at every position that's really taken the next step. I think the guy that really has been where he was in the spring and taken the next step in fall camp is TJ Guy. He's a guy that's really taken that next step of you got Josiah, you got Derek, and you got him. And you got other guys that are chomping at the bit, but he's really taken that step to be an elite player and be that guy that, you know, there's not that much of a drop off like last year. So I feel really good about TJ, and he's changed his body. He's done a lot of great things, and I mean, at every position you can go down the line, and we'll talk about other positions. But another guy that just jumps out is a guy that has started games for us is Gio El-Hadi. I mean, he's changed his body. And the things, and then I think being behind Keegan and Zinner the past couple years, he's really done a really good job of learning. You know, we always say watch, emulate, surpass, and that's what he's trying to do. So those guys have all, you know, the whole team's been outstanding, but those two I could think specifically, and ironically they're really, really close. I think they were roommates, so good to see.
Chris?
Coach, how's the offensive line coming together? Do you guys have a first group yet?
They're coming together great, and you can ask the defensive guys. They're giving them a run for their money, and you know, I know that as long as I'm here, we're going to be good up front. We're going to be violent. We're going to be physical. We're going to be tough, relentless, all the things you want. We have a couple guys that are cementing themselves at ones, but, you know, not a whole first group yet. I think we got a lot of battles still going, and it's kind of like last year. We had guys who were starting. Miles Hinton started the first 4 or 5 games and then didn't start after that, but still played. So I think the competition is just going to continue to go into the season as we keep going, and excited to see who rolls out week 1.
How deep do you think you are at that group?
Oh, pretty good. I think we're in a good place. We got 9 or 10 guys that are competing on a daily basis, so excited about that group.
Aaron?
Sherrone, do you have any regret the way you handled the text message situation?
You know, I'm not going to comment about any of that. So
Quarterback situation, is there a front runner at this point? Is there someone who's kind of emerged?
I mean, they're all been really good. They've had their days that one guy's been good, one guy's been really good, one guy's been better. So not a front runner. Really kind of all even playing right now, and we'll see how we go into this week, next week, and then game week.
John?
Are there a couple of things that you have observed specifically in fall camp that lead you to having a good confidence about the success of this team?
I mean, I think just number one, the way they walk in the building, the way they carry themselves, the way they're taking care of the new locker room, which is beautiful. But we've got an undefeated record, and you know we keep track of everything. Keeping track of how the locker room is, and it's been awesome. Keeping track of the building and everything we do. So that's been great, and just watching our guys in practice, and when you have the vision of the head coach and you stand behind and you see everything going on, you watch the quarterback, you watch the line, you watch the D-line, you watch the defense's eyes, you hear the communication that the defense does, and you hear the pads go, like, you're like, oh yeah, we're going to be good. Like, you can feel it, you can sense it. So, and there's just we don't really care about what other people think. We're just ready to go. So the guys working their tails off and excited.
On the right, Charlie?
Sherrone, speaking of the D-line, where have you seen growth from KG and Mason in this offseason?
Yeah, I mean, I think one, conditioning, they've just done a really good job of trying to keep themselves in the top shape, knowing that they got to play a couple more snaps. 2, leadership. They've really taken a leadership role, and they're still young guys, they're only juniors. And you say that's upperclassmen, but we've been dealing with 4th and 5th and 6-year guys. So to watch those guys be leaders amongst their group and keep the standard where it is, they've done a really good job. So that's where I'd see the really growth. And from a fundamental aspect, Coach Esposito's done an outstanding job from their hands, their pad level, their feet, and all those things are going to keep coming. But from a leadership standpoint, that's where they're really taking the next step.
Staying on the right, Angelique.
Sherrone, what went into the decision having Jim come back as honorary captain?
Yeah, I just talked to Coach yesterday, and really what went into the decision is we made that decision like in March, or I think it was January or February actually, January or February. So it's really to honor him of what he's done for Michigan. I mean, came back for 9 years and took us to where we are now. So it was really to honor him. It was nothing besides that. And yesterday he called me, told me that didn't feel that he could leave his team in true Coach Harbaugh fashion, and wanted to be in the foxhole with his team and not want to make it look like he was taking a deep, long bow. So he's not going to make it for the game, but we're going to have some of our guys that are there, and then Jack and Jackie Harbaugh are going to take his place. So super excited about that.
And could I ask about the quarterbacks? Has he been available the entire preseason camp?
Yeah, he's been good. But competition's ongoing.
Over on the left here.
Yeah, do you have an idea of when you will announce that starting quarterback position?
No, I mean, could be the week of, could be the day of the game. I think we'll see.
And then do you have an update on the kicking situation, who you expect to be the starter?
Yeah, I mean, both of those guys have been really good. Dominic Zavada's probably leading in that one right now. He's been kicking it through the roof. He's done a really good job. So, but Samaha, I mean, he put 2 more days together the other day. So, I mean, you can't relax around here, because as soon as you relax, somebody's chasing you. So it's but the competition is really good.
On the left, Ryan.
How do you foresee the NCAA's new roster limit rules maybe affect how you construct a roster in the future?
Yeah, I think you got to be really careful on what you do. You got to be precise in your evaluations of who you pick and who you bring in your roster and what you do, and you just got to be smart and research and bring in the right guys, which we're going to continue to do. So for us, it'll be an evaluation of the guys that are on the team, an evaluation of the guys that we're going to bring in, and whenever that final verdict of this is what it is and this is what's happening, we'll make the decision on how we need to do that internally.
Overall, do you think it's a benefit or maybe a detractor for college football as a whole?
I mean, I think I get it. I get the numbers, but you always want, for us, the more, the better. We've always had a lot of guys, and the walk-on programs are huge around the country, so always a benefit of that. But there's going to give opportunity for guys at different places, so I think it'll work out for everybody.
Over on your right, Wojo.
Sherrone, obviously a lot has changed. Harbaugh's gone, a lot of his staff, a lot of players. How do you deal with change of a successful program, but not change too much and put your imprint on it at the same time?
Yeah, I've been lucky that I've been here for, this is going to be 7 years. So I've seen the evolve of us from 18 to 19 to 20 to 21 to 22, and then obviously last year. So I got a good feeling on how the program has been ran, and coaches obviously give me a lot of opportunities to see that and feel that and be in meetings with him when he's making decisions and help him make decisions. So I wouldn't say it has been easy. It hasn't been easy by any means, but I think the players have made it easy because the culture is there. So for me, it's just my job is to make sure everything is aligned and in the right place and make sure that they're in a good position to help us win games and be successful off the field.
Is there one piece of the culture that cannot change, will not change under you, one thing that you have to continue?
I mean, I think the discipline, the relentlessness, how we play, that's not going to change. The discipline, being great people off the field, that's not going to change. We're going to continue to do that. The only thing that's really changed, like I said before, is that we play music in practice. And we did that sometimes, but I just like music. So sometimes I like to tap my toes, shake my head. I like to hear songs. And I like to hear new songs because then the players tell me new songs and I get new artists. So that adds to my playlist. So it helps. So, but besides that, nothing's going to change.
On the left here, Austin.
Sherrone, just as a follow-up to that on the culture of the program, there are some things that have come out that maybe didn't paint the culture of the program in a great light. Are there things that you feel like need to change moving forward?
I'd say this. When you're at the bottom, they don't respect you. When you're in the middle, they ignore you. When you're at the top, they hate you. So for us, we're just going to keep rolling.
Tony?
That was similar to my question, but I guess so. You feel comfortable about, I guess, where the program is culture-wise, the identification of it, and how it's perceived nationally.
We're great. We're excited about game one. We're excited about the next day, and yeah, I can't really control what people want to say about us, so we're just going to keep rolling.
Jennifer?
Sherrone, what are the internal expectations as far as repeating as Big Ten champs, and what is the biggest challenge or hurdle you have to overcome to do that?
I think we always talk about the process. We don't really try to talk about the prize as much. Just getting better today will lead to more success tomorrow. So that's all we're concerned with. We know what the goals are. We know what the aspirations are. I think when you're at Michigan, you always want to win it all, and that should be our goal every year. But we're just going to attack the process. That's it.
Just to follow up, how difficult is that given all of the players that you guys lost, all the talent that you lost?
Yeah, I mean, we got a lot of talent here. I think we got maybe 4 or 5 guys that might be drafted in the first round. So we got enough talent, and we're going to develop them.
Tom?
Sherrone, incoming freshman, either side of the ball, anybody jumping off the page like he gets it?
Yeah, there's a couple of them. I mean, started quarterback position, Jaden Davis. He has the it factor. He makes plays. Competitive, obviously was I think 3-time state champion, player of the year, but poise, has ability. We'll see how it progresses. His teammate Channing Goodwin, I mean, he's a playmaker. He's a dude that's gonna probably help us this year in some way, shape, or form. And I always said that it's easier to play the farther you are from the ball, especially early. You know, if you're a lineman, D lineman, it's harder to play early. So those guys up front, those linemen, especially the O-linemen, it's harder for them to play early, and they're all going to be really good players. But those two, from a skill set standpoint, I think offensively will be the guys. And then the tight ends have been awesome. Jordan Marshall is probably the next guy. He's got a chance to be special, dynamic.
Could he be that third back potentially?
Yeah, we'll see. Ben Hall is, having guys like Jordan Marshall in the room will make you play fast and physical, and Ben Hall has played all of 230 pounds he is, so he's run physical fast. So super excited where how he's hitting and how he's gaining momentum. And then on the defensive side, Dominic Nichols is probably the guy that jumps out the most as a freshman. That's really, because he's been here in the spring and he came here and he's been in the fall, so he's a guy that I think as a freshman's got a chance. And then probably one more guy is Cole Sullivan.
Reiner?
Yeah, in light of the 2 NCAA investigations and the off-field arrest of the 2 staff members this offseason, plus, a lot of, it seems that the coaches, more so than the players, create trouble for the program, create negative headlines. Why do you think that is, and how do you plan to solve that?
Yeah, I'm not going to comment again about the NCAA stuff, and we've handled those situations, so we're just ready to keep moving forward.
The other question I have is, obviously with the snaps, last year you didn't have to play a lot of the defensive players late in games in about the first month of the season. Kenneth Graham talked about playing maybe twice as many snaps, early on this season. How much are you guys focused on the conditioning of the team, through this first month and, just getting through the season with the difficulty of the schedule? So.
Yeah, I mean, we're never want to just get through anything. We're ready to attack. So we're always going to be in good shape, regardless of we think we got to play 70 plays, 80 plays, 90 plays. So I think all the guys are just excited to go compete, and it has nothing to do with anything else more than that. They want to go win.
How challenging, though, is that compared to last year? I mean, where, you were able to kind of ramp up for the meat of the schedule, whereas this
Yeah, I don't think last year we tried to hold back. I think we were trying to put everything in 100% every game. There's no holding back in college football because if you don't bring it, you'll get beat. So that's our thought process.
On the right, Hobie?
A lot of losses on the roster, but you do have Donovan Edwards coming back. We also what he did in the championship game, being patient, biding his time. How much does his presence both help you from a production standpoint, but also leadership standpoint?
I mean, he's just a great spirit. He walks in a room, he brightens up a room. His smile, the deep voice, just everything about him is so positive. So for me, I like just getting his energy. Just being around him is awesome. And then from a production standpoint, obviously you'd like a player like that, in the run game and the pass game. So he's done an unbelievable job. He keeps being a leader. And I think that's where he's really taken the next step as a leader. It's not only in the running back room, but as a whole offense. And you see him call up the offense. You see him talk to the defense. You see him talk trash to the defense. You see him, make sure the offense is on point. So he's been outstanding this camp.
In the middle.
Sherrone, Will Johnson has talked a little bit about how last season he was playing, but he just wasn't quite at.
Which is crazy because I would have never thought that.
So how noticeable is Will Johnson at full strength, and what is him being there due to some of these guys who are in battles around him?
I mean, I think he just brings up the play. I haven't been around many corners that are as violent in the run game and as violent in the pass game. The dude was like coming off the edge the other day and playing contain and doing things, and it felt like a linebacker doing it. And for a corner to do that, it's very, very rare. Obviously, elite talent level, elite person, but the toughness, the leadership skills, all that, it's just unmatchable, and that's why he's the best corner in the country.
Clayton.
Corner other than Will, and then nickel as well.
Yeah.
Who's leading the way kind of at those positions?
I think right now we got a little battle on the other side because obviously Will's Will, but Jair Hill has really had a really, really good fall camp. I love Shug. He's phenomenal. He's got a great personality, but when he gets on the field, he's serious and he plays that way. And then as soon as he steps on the sideline, he's Shug again. But he's really played well. Amir Hall has really stepped up as well, and it's done some really, really good things. Keyshawn Harris is another guy that's played really well. Ricky Johnson. All those guys are really stepping up and making some plays. Jade McBurrows, another guy who's done it, and he's played a little nickel too. But all those guys have been really, really good.
The nickel, is it Zeke then that's kind of leading the way?
Yeah, Zeke's done a really good job. Zeke's played some. Jaden's played some. Had a couple other guys, but probably Zeke and Jaden right now.
I only have time for a few more, and I got about 8 names on here, so we're going to try and keep going. But we'll start with Andrew.
Does the 12-team playoff change anything for you guys on a week-to-week basis? I know you never want to lose a game, but you could and still get them.
We're never thinking about that. We're going to try to prepare to win every game. That's always the goal for us. I think in fall camp you have to build the cows, you have to get better, you have to push each other. And then you just got to be smart throughout the season of when you prepare, of how much hitting, what you're doing, and just be smart in those regards. But doesn't really change anything in our mindset because you got to go win. Because you don't win, you're probably not going to get in. So that's our mindset.
Chris.
Coach Rayshawn, how's he doing, and can you talk about the depth behind him as well?
Yeah, he's been awesome. He came back, and you never know with a foot and ankle how it could be. And I mean, it's like nothing really happened. And dude's been, and we've been trying to just progress him, and gets mad at us, me sometimes, like, hey, yeah, that's good. He's like, no, I want more. So he's been great. And then obviously with the D-line, you got Kenneth, you got Mason, you got Rayshawn, you got Enoetta, who's really stepped up. You got Trey Pierce, who's really stepped up. On the edges with Cam Brandt, who's mixed in there a little bit. He's really stepped up. You got Josiah, you got Derek Moore, you got TJ Guy. So now you're building depth and you're building a group that you think you can go win with.
Aaron?
Alex, Jack, and Davis, could you just speak to all three of them, what you've seen from them at camp, and what are you waiting on to see to determine your start?
Yeah, I think with all of them, you've seen them, be mature, be leaders, be poised, make plays, and really it's just that. It's just continue to do that on a consistent basis. All of them have done that. All of them made plays in their own right at every position, and just it's going to take time. It's going to take that week. It's going to take maybe that day to figure out who the guy is. But I feel really good about that room. Feel really good. Feel confident. They've all made really good throws. They've all made plays with their legs, and all have done things to put themselves in a good position.
Larry?
Players have said you're really approachable, funny, open door policy.
I hope I'm funny. I'm trying to.
My question is, has your approach changed in any way from assistant to coordinator and now head coach?
No, because I feel like, and I was told this a long time ago, like players can see right through it all. So if you're not yourself, then they'll really, they'll attack that. So for me, it's all about them. It's always been about them. My door's always open. I hear them in there. I got candy jars in there, and all I hear is dude's getting candy. Who is that? It's Shug. Okay, cool, great. Then he'll come back there and ask me a question, walk out, leave. I'm like, okay, great. So that's never going to change. I want them to feel very welcome and be able to understand and know that I'm always there for them.
Young lady in the camera.
Oh, do you get a kick out of the fact that there's a lot of battles for starter positions, especially quarterback? Do you feel like this resonates with the depth that's on this team?
Yeah, I think it's great. I think if you don't have that, you're probably not going to have a good team. So for us, we love competition. We want to drive that part of football in every way possible. So if you didn't have a competition, you're in a bad place. So we feel really good about that.
Ryan?
The recruiting penalties kind of came out earlier this week. I guess what type of impact did that have on the program, and how do you guys maybe combat that and overcome that?
Yeah, I mean, not much impact. We're just going to keep going. Not much you can do about it, so we're just going to keep rolling.
Last question over there, Wojo.
It was just the schedule more daunting than it's been in a long, long time, obviously, with I assume that doesn't sway you or waver you, but are you concerned about the wear and tear on a team that doesn't have as many returning starters in the past with that schedule that tough?
No. The way we practice is to make sure that we're ready for games, regardless of who we're playing. So they still got to play us. Our guys are excited about the schedule, competitive schedule. When you're in the Big Ten, there's not really an easy schedule. So everybody's got to have to deal with it. Everybody's got to deal with a competitive schedule, and that's what we want.
What kind of candy's in the jar?
Oh, that's a good question. So I got Jolly Ranchers, Lifesavers, Mint, and then everybody's favorite is Pink Starburst.
No chocolate.
No, that's at front. Paige, my assistant, has them out front. She's got chocolate, but I got no chocolate in there. I don't eat any of it, so.
Dry air most, peach most.
I mean, they all do, but he's always the one that I get to come in, and then him and Donovan will come in, take the jar, then walk in, say something, then walk out just freely. So it's awesome.
All right. Thanks, everyone.
Awesome. Thank you,
Appreciate it.
guys.
Thank you.